On that story, Act Now and the Student Representative Council at Wits will hold a candlelight ceremony for Kwasa this morning. Act Now is an organization of concerned South African men who have come together to fight the scourge of violence against women and children. For more on the story, we're now joined on the line by Act Now Chairperson Tebogo Lerole. Tebogo, very good afternoon to you. Tell us about your organization and what you hope to do today.
Good afternoon. Before I even go any further, I would like to send our deepest condolences to the family, the friends, and the loved ones. We are an organization that is fed up with everything that's been taking place in our nation, and we feel this is enough. It needs to stop, and we've reached out to the government, we've reached out to corporate, and all we want is to just have a sitting, have a dialogue with men, and can we just discuss what propels us to actually creating or taking part in these heinous crimes we've been committing. This whole year has been such a dramatic year, and it's been such a horrible year for me to even call myself a man. And this afternoon will be, I don't even want to say partnering, because it's not a partnering matter. We will be reaching out and giving a helping hand to the SRC of the Witwatersrand University to try and see what can we do. This is the little that we can do for the family, but we will gather there. We will have a candlelight ceremony where we will bid farewell, and we will allow the students that were close to Asithandile to speak on about the stories they've shared with her, about the experiences they've had with her. We're coming together just to cry as a nation and to say enough is enough. We are not marching, it's not a march, it's not a show, it's nothing to be proud of as a man. I didn't even want to take this interview, to be honest with you, because right now I am just not okay with everything taking place in this country. And we are calling out for the president. We're reaching out to the president. We did reach out even on the 21st of June to say, hear us as men coming to you. We need serious interventions. We need to sit down and discuss and talk and understand where is the core root of these crimes that we're committing. Women have had enough, and women have been calling out for men to take action. We need to start taking action as men. We'd rather go back to the old laws or old rules where each and every area or township or location, we have committees of men that make sure that they stand guard and they look after or they protect women and children. It cannot carry on or go on the way it's going on. We need to stop. We need to stop. And I don't know how to express or how to stress out my words, but men just need to come together and find solutions of safeguarding each and every corner in South Africa and making sure that this space or this country is a safe environment for women and children.
So as you organize for the meeting tonight, what considerations are you giving to COVID-19 protocols?
We always adhere by the regulations in terms of the numbers. We've requested and we've spoken to the SRC to keep it as minimal as possible. We also are aware that there is social distancing in terms of spacing, in terms of each and everyone who's going to be gathering. That today we will keep our distance. We will have sanitizers in place, and everyone is surely going to be coming with a mask on. And for me to say the numbers, I cannot really commit and say the students won't be coming in large numbers. I am not responsible for the students that knew Asithandile. They will be coming because they also feel that they need to take a stand, and they also need to send a good farewell message to a good friend of theirs. And some family members that are based in Joburg will obviously be making way that to Wits. So in terms of an organization or what we stand for, we are in support of the regulation, and we always constantly make sure that we adhere by the rules of COVID-19. So we will stick to making sure that everyone is in a safe environment today.
You said earlier that you were reaching out to the president. What is your organization's contribution to the efforts to stem out gender-based violence?
We have been on the ground. We have been pushing and using our own resources. I can gladly say that we've got an advocate on our team that is making sure that she stands with her team in some of the cases that some of the victims have been facing. We are in a process of setting up with trauma counselors. We are in a process of making sure that we go as far as setting up structures of safe houses. We have been on the ground. Like I said, we are working from our own resources, and it's an uphill battle that we're fighting. But the team that I am working with is 100% involved and making sure that we chase away or we kill the plague that we're facing, that is gender-based violence. We are enough. That's all I can say. But we are on the ground implementing. It's been only a few months that we've started with ACT now. But I can guarantee you that in 6 months' time, there's a lot of groundwork we would have delivered, and there's a lot of change that we would have brought for this country and for the safety of women and children.
Tebogo, people always remember these gruesome cases that end up on newspaper front pages. These women's stories come with a flare-up of societal outrage, protest, and collective introspection. We protest, and then what? Should the death sentence be brought back? Are you even talking about this?
We have raised it, but because of human rights, we were told that it's impossible to actually look at taking someone's life because they've committed a crime. We're even thinking of it if it means that we do not take a life, what are the most strict measures that we can really look into? You know, I mean, I have a lot of chats with a lot of men, and someone even raised a notion of how about we then start removing private parts from men that are actually killing the nation and actually going out there to rape for the fun of it. You know, as the justice system, we really need to look into this issue, because if we are soft with, I mean, you can imagine if someone goes out and murders a young child and then goes to prison and they spend the next 20 years, they are fed by the nation, they eat they eat food from taxpayers, and it's such a light how do I put it? It's such a light sentence to serve. You know, you cannot just go out there, murder someone and expect that you will spend the next 10 years in prison and in 10 years' time you will come out. Of course, cases are different. Not many men go out there to murder because they do it for the fun of it. Some instances that we cannot even begin to explain, and we have in our midst some of the gangs that have actually committed some of these crimes, and some of them have been remorseful and they've come back into the communities. We also need to look at programs where we get to reform them and get them to be welcomed or accepted by society as well, because in most cases no one really goes out there, I would like to kill. It is either propelled by a situation that happened in their past lives, or when they were growing up, or when they were brought up, and it's different cases that we're dealing with, and we just need to find out exactly why we are in the situation that we're in. Hence why we are also, as an organization, pushing for the agenda of having dialogue with men. So we need to understand the core issue or the core problem, where it began, or what actually gets a man to a level where they feel that they are in charge, or they own a woman, or they can literally lose the keys of the woman or a child. Because for me, I'm not in a state. I try by all means to put myself in the shoes of a perpetrator and understand exactly where they come from. But I cannot explain or answer that statement. But I can sit down with someone who has committed this crime and just try and understand from their understanding, where does it come from, or what actually leads them to becoming the animal that they are. But all I know is there's so much that we need to do as a country, as the society, as a nation. We just need to get together and find helpful situations or helpful platforms that can make this country a better place for women and children to live in.
Yeah. Just in terms of tonight's program, is there any inclusion of Kwasa's family members? We
have totally asked the SRC to handle that part or that side of things. We had no contact with the family so far, but SRC, obviously, because Kwasa was their student, so we felt that we cannot overstep certain boundaries. We will allow the SRC to run with the program. We are really protecting or letting them be heard as a nation, and this mainly to create awareness and to let the nation know that this is real time, this is happening in real life. Young people are dying, women are dying, young girls are dying. I think for now as a nation we are aware, but I don't know what measures need to be taken to make the whole nation be aware that young people are murdered on a daily basis. My phone has got so many pictures of young children and young women who are dying on a daily, and these are developments that we're getting. We have a group where we discuss these issues as men, and it's said to say that on a week or in a week we have a good number of 3 to 5 young girls who are dying in this country. And in terms of abuse, I don't even want to get there. So today's program is mainly run by the SRC. We are just giving support, and that's all we're doing. We just want the country to be aware of what's happening. I can't even speak. I'm not in a good state. Please do understand where I'm coming from.
No, absolutely. But finally, these days, even though you don't physically attend events, there's an online component. Do you have this for tonight, and what details can people use if they would like to be part of the process?
We will also be using our own streaming Act Now Instagram page. We will live stream the whole proceeding of the Candlelight today, and it will start from 4:30 p.m. till 6:30 p.m. And you can just log on to the Act Now Instagram page, and you will see the whole thing taking place. So we will go live at 4:30 until 6:30 p.m.
Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you very much, Desiree. I'm sorry, my voice is a bit shaky. I'm just not in one of those good states.
Totally understandable.
All right.
Tebogo Lerole is with Act Now.